Hey everybody, Chris Truder here, leading communications expert in Japan. Thank you for tuning in to my Facebook Live episode 2. So yesterday was my first episode. I was excited and nervous. I'm still excited and nervous today. But today I want to continue talking about pronunciation. Yesterday we talked about, or I talked about the short vowel sounds in Japan and how it's very difficult for Japanese students learning English to not only pronounce short vowel sounds, but also to differentiate through listening, because the Japanese writing system, katakana, does not have equivalents to the short vowel sounds. So, for example, yesterday I talked about the short vowel sound for O, which is ah, and I used the example of the word hot, H-O-T, but Japanese pronounce it hotto, hot, with the long O sound, because that's how they write it in katakana. So even though they have an ah sound in katakana, I'm not sure why they don't write H-O-T as hot in their own system. But anyway, I wanted to show you some phonetics here, and maybe this is in reverse. So I'm just realizing that this is my first Facebook Live using a board, and now you can see it's all in reverse. So I got to figure this out. But anyway, I wanted to talk about a, I, and and you can see here it backwards, so hopefully I can figure this out next time. But you can use any three-letter words to practice these words: hat, het, hit, hut, and hot. And by the way, this whiteboard was only 300 yen at the 100 yen store, so great bargain. And for adult learners, as an English teacher, you should not expect perfection. For children, it's different. For children, you have a huge opportunity to teach phonetics and get perfect pronunciation. For adult learners, perfect pronunciation is not the goal, but it's to be able to differentiate through their listening these English words that have been imported into the Japanese language. So it's interesting. I've talked to a lot of my Japanese students, and not only my students, I'm also in Toastmasters, public speaking club, and a lot of great Japanese English speakers join this, but even advanced English speakers in Japan, or beginners, whatever level they are, when you ask them what is your goal in speaking English, time and time again people give the same answer. They say, well, I want to be fluent like a native speaker. I want to be like a native speaker. And it's interesting, I asked them, well, okay, fluency and native speaking is different, and you can become fluent, but to become like a native speaker maybe is a little unrealistic. And I also share that most of the world that speaks English are not native English speakers. English is just a communication tool to speak with billions of people around the world, and also to communicate with even more through the internet. So if you're a Japanese person out there watching my video and you want to become like a native speaker, go for it. But I would recommend and challenge you to strive more for fluency. As I mentioned in a YouTube video of mine, I talked about, I used the analogy of baseball. And English communication, or any communication, is like playing catch back and forth. And a lot of times, I think Japanese students, learners of English, make the mistake of not playing catch, but they wait for the teacher, who's like the pitcher, to throw them a ball, to ask them a question. And instead of being the catcher and catching the ball, they act as like the batter and they try to hit the ball and they strike out. So again, English communication is about becoming fluent, meaning going back and forth, playing catch, and not always just waiting for the teacher or for the native speaker or the non-native speaker who's speaking English to just throw you a ball. You sometimes need to be the pitcher and initiate the conversation. So again, today, thank you for tuning in. Sorry about this. I didn't realize this would be in reverse, so I need to figure that out. I'll check with some colleagues in my network to see how they do this. And again, thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, I have some more videos on YouTube. I will post those in the comments section. And so again, I would appreciate if you would follow me on YouTube and become a subscriber. So anyway, until tomorrow, same time, same place, 8:30 a.m. See you tomorrow. And thanks again for checking in. And if you've tuned in late, you can always watch this on my Facebook page, Cranefield Communication. Okay, bye.